On the demo side, I know we have Andrew. I know we have Nick.
How do you know?
I had lunch with Bertrand yesterday. So, who else? Sipke, it's been a long time. Oh, you've been working for real, so okay, yeah, I get it. What did I miss? Martin is here. Hey, I don't know what it is. Okay, so otherwise we have a status, harvest. I will also start with that. What do we have? Any? Oh, yeah, fuck. Yeah. We have a big one, which actually will start the meeting. I almost forgot about it. What else? Gallery status, harvest, release. Okay. So let's start with these things. Gallery. So if you can you see my screen, Benedek?
Yeah, I can.
So if you open the gallery today, you will see this. And it was expected, actually. It's been expected for a week at least. I was expecting that. But I hoped I would fix it in time. So the issue is that the SL certificate is expired. Martin, who's online, apparently got it for me in time, like last week or the week before, on the Friday. So I had the certificate, but then I tried to update the certificate on the website, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work because the gallery is such a beauty, literally, that we haven't had to touch it for 4 years. No maintenance. The only thing we had to do was 2 years ago, on the 13th of October, update the certificate, which worked at that time. But now it's not working anymore because it's so old that the Azure SDK and the Cloud Service OS version that we are using is not supported anymore on Azure. So it's breaking the new portal, and the old portal doesn't work either, explaining why. And when I try to remote desktop to the machines, the new portal doesn't work without saying anything, and the old portal says it can't parse the service configuration, the CFG. So the option would have been to rebuild everything with the new Azure SDK and a new OS version, but the VM that had the build system and the source code and the customizations for the gallery has been recycled, meaning the machine was taken and recycled, because I assume I gave the wrong one when I recycled one of my machines. So now as a result, the SSL is expired, and to be able to access the gallery website, the front end, because the gallery is two services I will explain, you need to say proceed. It's unsafe because, it's unsafe, but it works, okay? It's just HTTPS certificate has expired, so you are no more protected. What else? You can still sign in, update your packages, and so on. And from any Orchard instance, there is no change at all, because it's using directly the feed service, which is unprotected by HTTPS, and just downloading packages. And this will work. From all your Orchard instances, you can still download the packages as before. There is no impact. So action. The action is to take that as an opportunity to ship the gallery as we said we would last year when we started to talk about it, or maybe 2 years ago or whatever. So I talked to Bertrand, talked to Zoltan, and talked to Sipke about it, and I got some. It was interesting because I got some different ideas to do so. So the plan we have right now, and feel free to comment, is I started to work on a new version of the gallery, the one that we had talked about on the forums, all the discussions we had on the forums, and in different steps. The first step is to have a new gallery which is read-only, but with all current packages. Okay, so I will import all the packages that we have on the current gallery into the new gallery. So it will just be listing all the modules and themes. Okay. Second step, so I will write numbers actually. So second step is to have edition package submission by package URL. So the first step for you to edit your packages will be to submit new packages by pointing an existing URL, an existing get package somewhere. This would be the first step. And but all users will be imported, so you won't lose your account or the let me write it there, or the ownership of the packages. So everything will be migrated to the new site. Does anyone have to say something? You feel free to interrupt me. It's not because I talk that you don't have to interrupt me. Nothing here. Okay. Okay, nothing. So I want to just ship the read-only version just to have something which is not shameful like HTTPS exploration, because with a new website I will be able to use the certificate that we have. Package submission by package URL, and then all other features like package submission on Git repository, because the main idea of the new gallery that we wanted to build was to be able to register a package, not only pre-built package like you do today, you upload a NuGet package, but also to point to a GitHub repository, a Bitbucket repository, Codeplex repository, and then the gallery will build the package for you and host the package for you. So you just have to push a new version on a specific branch, and automatically the manifest will be parsed, and we will build the package for you. So you just register where your GitHub account is or where your Codeplex account is, and the package will be available automatically. And based on convention for the description, for the screenshots and everything that we'll explain, you will be able to have the package available to everyone. It will be much easier for to release packages. So package submission by package URL, and also package submission by package URL. By package file, so you can upload a file, which is what we do today. By package URL is very simple. This is what I will do for the read-only one first, because we already have all the packages somewhere on the storage. And then by Git repository. And then whatever, like Dropbox and so on, if you want to host your packages on your own system. So this is what I'm working on right now, because it's a priority, okay, to have the gallery fully functional again. This should not be that hard. Some other things that after talking with Bertrand, we think will be good, but you also are free to comment on that, is that we'll try to simplify everything that we don't need and that was created for the NuGet gallery and not for the Orchard gallery. As a reminder, historically, the Orchard gallery that we are using is the same code base as the NuGet.org gallery. The goal of the gallery was to be used on Orchard and on NuGet and on any other gallery that you would like to host. So we have lots of features that are just for NuGet. So maybe now we don't want them. At the same time, the suggestion is to remove comment. Oh no, sorry. To use what's the name? Discuss comments or something similar. No ratings. Because you have comments, you can comment what you think it's about. Use discuss comments, no ratings, show compatible Orchard version, show/filter compatible Orchard versions. Okay, so when you will submit a package, you will be able to say what versions of Orchard are supported. And at some point, we'll also make it more clever so that anyone can vote for what version is supported. What else? Yes, so the discussion with Zoltan was, the conclusion of discussion I had with Zoltan was mostly to reuse the code from the Orchard gallery source code, which I've already started to do, taking piece by piece the package, the migrations, the views, the handlers, and so on. That's it, but feel free to read the... Can you paste also the link, Zoltan, to the forum discussion? There's this one that you will paste, but I think there was also another one, which was maybe there was a design recommendation also. Gustavo, what's your comment about? Should that get migrated over as well? Yeah, the source code of the gallery module will be on our GitHub organization. And this time we'll make sure that it's very easy to set up a gallery. The old gallery, or the current gallery, is using two different services. The gallery frontend and the gallery server, the feed server, which hosts the... So it's very complex, but it was made for high availability in mind. So the two services are completely independent, a kind of microservices. But now we don't care because we don't have the load that NuGet has. That's it. Thanks, Zoltan. Yep. So that's the status, and the ETA is to have something ready, at least in read-only, and for sure to edit your own packages and submit packages at least by package file by the end of the week, and next week be able to register a Git repository. Okay. Good. Any question about this topic? Did I miss something? Something interesting is that might lead to discussions. I had some great discussion with Zoltan yesterday about the distinction between a package and a package version. See package as entity framework, package version as each package that is released with a version. So the discussion I had with Zoltan was about where do we put the description? Should a package have the description? And so the package version will have a version for sure. The description, for instance, there is a downloads here, and there is also downloads here. And this one is the aggregate of that one. Description, license. The version will have the Orchard compatible version. Okay. So each new package, is it compatible with which Orchard version? Okay. And this is important. This one package can work with multiple versions. So for instance, description, good thing which we could talk about for hours apparently, because it took some time with Zoltan yesterday. Do you want to be able to set the description for the package, or do you want to be able to set it for each package version? My opinion is that to simplify, it should be at the package level and at the package version, so that we don't have to edit every time we publish a new package, or we don't have to change it to all packages if we want to change all the previous versions. At the same time, you might want to be able to change what a package does every time you have a new package version.
Yeah, or maybe change history, some description.
So, okay,
well,
so
added, fixed.
As you said that, maybe it's the way I formulated it. I agree. Maybe actually it could be like a change log if you want to explain what's the difference between two packages. Zoltan, I suggest that you comment on this one, because I think that will be a good compromise. That you can set it up as a change log, or you can, maybe we can have also a change log if we want, with a formatted as a change log or as part of the description. I'd rather make it free form and let people put a change log if they care about explaining what the changes are in different versions.
Why don't we just take a readme.md automatically, and it can be per version?
Yeah.
You don't need to do anything manually with that.
It can be per
version. Change log.
No, the question is, do you want to have different values for every package version, or do you want to have a single one? You see?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that we should just parse out.
This is different. This for sure we'll do. Whatever we decide, the description of the package or the package version level, we will read the readme.txt if you get from a GitHub, for sure. But the question is, do we want to version the description, or do we just want one description and we edit the description of the package directly from the website, for instance? We can do it. That's a different.
I probably wouldn't allow manual editing there. Meaning, if you want to change the description,
we have to, because we can edit a package by URL or by package file.
Yeah, but we get the description from there.
We import it.
Direct editing.
We import it, but it's just an import.
Not directly, because that's what you mentioned.
But I'm meaning the two. We import it, and you can edit it on the website.
Okay, so it's auto-populated, but you can still edit it, you mean?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
This way, we don't have different ways of editing the description based on how you publish the package.
Yeah, what I meant is that I would actually not allow direct editing on the website, because why? If we already have a convention to parse it out.
Yeah, so if the convention is, for instance, in the case of a package file or package URL, we take a README file from the package, or a README at the root of the module, fine, or the description of the module.txt, fine. That could be the convention, and then we don't have to edit it. At the same time, if you want to change the description without upload, this is something very important. If you want to change the description of your package without updating the package with a new version, then...
Yeah, that's a good point. Although you could just re-import an existing version.
So today it's completely unloaded by NuGet, and for very good reasons. Because if you update that, you might abuse it and change some. So we don't want to change what NuGet is doing in this case.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah.
That's why I think we should edit the description, be able to edit the description, even if we have a convention that we will import it automatically from a specific file. So if you don't want to edit it by the website, you don't have to. You can just change your package description.
We could just do what Gustavo suggests, that have a global description and have something else that would change per version.
So description at the package level and something, just to be clear, like changes or...
It could be just a version description. Because it's probably not restricted to just changes. You could list the current feature set there that changes every version.
Just to distinguish from just to explain actually. I will put it in parents just to say what is the meaning of this description compared to this one. So this one is more generic. More changelog. Package changelog in a package version. You see changelog. Okay, so two fields. And both of them are editable after we have updated that. Okay. Then how do you? So let's say you have a readme.txt. Which one gets into the description or the description? Or the first time you create a package, we get also the package description, and next times we don't update this one, the package one, just the package version. Okay, I see. We can talk about it offline, but that's a good compromise to support the two. It has to be simple. I want to do the minimum, and so that it's simple to manage packages. Another convention, for instance, is that the screenshots will also be part of the package or the Git repository and extracted on upload and available. Can you manage the package description of the UI? Yes, that's part of the discussion we had right now. Yes, the goal is you can change the description from the UI. Otherwise, you will have to publish a new package version just to change the description. Same thing for the license.
It's easier if I just talk. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, then all package versions that are updated would change the changelog. So,
correct.
Yeah, the global description would be editable via the UI or initial package update, and then package version descriptions on upload.
Yes, and you can also change the package description on the version if you want, on the UI.
Yeah, right.
Because you don't want, again, to just push a new package version just to change the metadata.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Unless the metadata is the module.txt, and this way, in this case, you don't have a choice. Version downloads count.
I would probably say here that we should parse the module.txt, but if there is a README, then do that.
Yeah.
Because the module.txt is not ready for this.
I agree. If there is no README, we'll take the description by default. And again, it's just pre-populating description. So it's just where do we get the pre-populated description, so you can, if you want, edit it after. But I agree, there should be first the readme.txt, readme.md. If it's markdown, then convert it to HTML because it's a body internally, and then the module.txt file and so on. Also, what we thought with this thing by Git repository, when you provide your Git URL, you also provide a branch you want to track. Okay, and also maybe a callback URL if you want it to be automatic, something like that.
As I explained, this can be much simpler. We could just require a zip file URL here that most of the source control providers, also GitHub and Bitbucket.
Oh, sure. And in this case, this is this. Oh no, yeah, there is package URL or zip. Okay, this is something different. But this could be actually a URL by URL and zip or nupkeg. So if it's a zip file, this is a source code. This is a nupkeg. Okay, we need to load the nupkeg.
Yeah, and to have source control integration, we just need a webhook that will be called when you push. and that also works for GitHub and also for Bitbucket, probably for others as well. And since in both providers there is a separate zip file automatically generated for branches, you can just have a release branch.
Mm-hmm.
It's super simple.
Good. Great. Okay, so let's close on the gallery, and I'll give some progress on Thursday. This is the gallery part. Status, just to see quickly what has been done last week, because I was on vacation, so I don't know what happened. Orchard. You see, 7 days ago. New features, I see distributed locking, I still need to look at it. Auto-enable dependencies, I see what it is. This is a branch, so I assume there is a pull request for that, or there will. The idea is to enable new dependencies from already enabled modules. This is for the recipe branch. Okay. App configuration accessor is now tenant our app configuration accessor. Is it a new thing? No.
I'm not sure how new it is, but you raised the issue.
Zoltan made it, I think. Oh yes,
it's a 1.9 thing.
Sorry?
It's a 1.9 thing.
I raised the issue because I tried to use it. Yes, this thing will abstract the web config. Yes. Okay, now it's tenant. Okay.
It's basically doing the same thing as the Azure specific one that we have in Orchard.Azure, but this one is in Framework, so you can use it from anywhere.
Yes, good. And ideally, all the settings like this should go in the settings.txt first, then the web config, then the settings.txt first, then like what this thing is doing, which is the web.config or the portal configuration, Azure configuration. That will be the ultimate solution.
This is really app configuration accessor, so that would be actually now it's also using tenant aware. It's also tenant aware. But actually,
yeah, right. Shell settings are not tenant aware. You're right. Yeah. So yes, this is better. This is different. You're right. That's good. Some services could use it. Well, I think I said there was an issue when I tried to use it from Redis, maybe module. Might have triggered the bug. Okay, good. A merge pull request from this one. SMTP settings. Same thing. Okay, empty username validation message wasn't shown. Username, okay. Media library. Okay. Oh, and all the changes from the assets pipeline I saw were taken. That's a good thing. So I see there is consensus between Daniel and Gustavo, I assume.
In the end.
That's good. That's good. And I updated to 19x on another my fork, and I didn't see the build, the assets build automatically when I open Visual Studio, so that's fixed. That's good. I saw that you were changing the default templates for the module as we talked about last week, so that when we create a new module, you will have the skeleton for the assets folder, styles folder. Good.
Yeah. But since it's a JSON file, I couldn't really put too many, examples or comments.
I understand.
Or things into it.
Yeah, just nothing related to Orchard, but I will take 10 seconds. JSON document don't allow comments, but JSON.NET supports comments in JSON documents. That's the issue.
What? How is that related?
Because you said you could not put too many things in the JSON document.
Yeah,
I mean,
this JSON document isn't read by JSON.NET. It's read by Gulp.
yes, it's just that we use JSON everywhere in .NET programs like Orchard, and it might work. And that's why you say also you don't want to put comments in JSON. Did I understand?
Yeah, well,
Because it's not supported.
I want to, but I can't.
Yes, but it might be that some of our JSON documents have comments.
Oh yeah, sure.
Branch. Okay. Fixing the tests. Okay, I will try that. Or did you update to Windows 10 and you saw the issues and then you fixed it?
I actually updated to Windows 10 just to fix these issues.
Good.
Yeah. It's weird. You know what? They depend. The thing that causes it is that Windows 10 contains a number of cultures where there is no AM/PM designator baked into the culture, which I think is a bug in Windows 10 because that makes it impossible to round trip 24-hour time.
I see. Okay, merge 19x. Good. Okay, what did I miss? Win 10. Okay, good. Samples, status. Status done. Harvest. So the website. Thanks to everyone who helped. Sultan, Sipke, Antoine, and I don't think there is anyone else. Harvest.org is live. Everything is fine. So the first thing to do now is I will communicate using all the mailing list I have and the Twitter account to call for speaker submissions. And also to communicate on the harvest itself. If you click on the register today, the link works. You can already register. Thanks to Zoltan, I updated the information to ask for the t-shirt size. I'd forgotten that. What else? We still need to update the accommodations page to explain which hotels you can use and what price, because we have good prices. Actually, if Sergio, you have some time, you could do that because you have all the information with the Melia first. Just ask Antoine to.
I just asked him to do it.
Okay, good. And you can create him an account if you can do that. Even if it's quick information and where it is, how much it is. How do you communicate with the hotel to say for the promo code? Like, do you say you have to be for Orchard Harvest, and that's good. So that's okay. So now next step is to get the full agenda and call for sessions, call for speakers. Any questions on this topic?
And sponsors as well, because we have lucky sponsors here listed there.
Thank you. We already have sponsors who have showed up and asked to sponsor things. We might have more sponsors than what we can finance, but we can always find solutions. So the open slots will be for shirts, but I think Lombic has already taken that because they always do that. We have the dinner on the Monday. We have the breakfasts. If anyone is interested into financing a breakfast, it could be a themed breakfast for your company. We have swags. If you want to pay for, I don't know, Orchard cups with your logo and the Orchard logo for everyone, that would be nice. Whatever you can come with. What else do we have? Zoltan, what did I forget? What else? What else?
I think that's it.
I mentioned something you didn't like. What was it?
Sponsoring a speaker.
Yes, I mentioned also, if we want a famous guy to come and talk about something, and he will not come by himself otherwise, a sponsor could finance his hotel and travel. That's the solution, if you're up to.
I can sponsor my own.
You right? Yeah. You see, Piotr is mentioning Unserman. For instance, Unserman will not come if we will not pay his hotel and his flight, which makes sense. Okay, because he said no, I don't come otherwise. So why would I come? Otherwise, we'll say okay, fine, you can talk. Daniel is financing his own, so that's good. Pay a barrel of beer. You can pay for beer too. Well, actually, that's another way to do that, because I was mentioning financing breakfast. If you want to finance a beer break, we can do that too. They have beers in Spain, so we could do, instead of with a snack, we could also do a beer break and soft drinks too. Okay. If you have other ideas, just contact us and we'll see. We'll arrange that.
Depending on the sponsorship, we could offer to publish the banner of the sponsor. I mean, physical banner.
We will have a physical banner with all the sponsors. You know, what like we do every year. You know, at close to the stand.
Yeah, I meant a specific one for the sponsor, like ProLegends did in Amsterdam.
Okay, I'll pay for. Okay, yeah, that's a solution. Yeah. We can talk about the details of what you want or you will get for each sponsorship. Crowdfunding, Orchard Beer Party. Okay. Questions, just send them. And there is also a contact link on the website if others have questions. Contact here.
How many people have registered so far?
None, because we haven't communicated about it, and everyone is waiting. I don't know what. I haven't registered yet either. I will send the mailing, and then it will be like the start of the registration. I'm sure you will come, Daniel. I know Zoltan will come and Benedek. I will be there. Sipke, Nick, Antoine, Gustavo will come. Gustavo, are you coming?
I don't think I can get the NFLPA to pay for it.
What? So you need to find a sponsor.
I know.
Daniel, we sponsor you, he said.
Yeah. Yeah, if I can find a sponsor, I'd be more than happy to go.
You see? Yeah. So we have at least 5 or 6 people, which is fine. Lots of beer and lots of food on Monday. Don't worry, everything is financed. Even if we are 10. That's good.
If there's only the 5 of us, we might have to rename it from a conference to like a group hug. The Orchard group hug.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, let's switch to demos to have some time. Victor, you will start because we cut you last time. Nick, you will get whatever time is left or wait for next week. Victor, your presenter. Sorry, Victor. Andrew. Why I call you Victor? Andrew. Andrew?
Yes, so I am waiting for my presenter role.
You are since the beginning of the meeting. Look at that. Oh, you don't see anymore, but you are.
So well, can you see my screen?
It's loading. Just a few seconds. Got it. Thanks.
It's okay?
Yeah, go ahead. Thanks.
Well, I was interrupted gently with the screen. So I show you main workflow for main case. I show you navigating by all screens and ordering and making an order. So here we are on the page of category. After that, we are going to product page. Add this product, and as you can see, we've got this product already in shopping cart. So I've add just another one and go into shopping cart. So as you can see, the quantity of line items increased, and you can change it by this way. So after losing focus from this text field, all subtotals will be recalculated. Okay, so for now we will proceed to checkout. It's really simple. I'll take just one address for billing and for shipping. So I just put it with some test data. Choose only actual shipping method. After selecting shipping method, all subtitles and shipping prices will be recalculated also. So, and for now we've got only two payment methods, PayPal and our test payment method. So for now I just show you this case with manual test payment method and create order. Here it is. Because checkout was anonymous, so customer got only order number, and all notifications will be sent to his email address. Well, for now I will show you how our admin part will affect to frontend, Orchard frontend. For now, I got enabled only manual test payment method, and for now I will enable PayPal Express checkout. Go into product page, adding this product to cart, proceeding to checkout. Sorry. In previous case, I forgot to disable it. For now, I just disable it, save these changes, and refresh checkout. So as you can see, we got just only one actual payment method. Okay. Sorry, I lost all my data, but it's really simple and really fast checkout implementation. Yes, only one.
One question, how do you handle the shopping cart? I mean, is it stored in a cookie or session?
Yes. Anonymous ID is just a stringified GUID, and it's stored with cookie.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so here it is. For PayPal, we'll enable it. Save changes in our admin part. Refresh page. And here it is. Okay. I will select this and create order. After that, we will be redirected to PayPal Express checkout page, as you can see. Oh, sorry. That was main workflow with frontend. How it is organized in Orchard. So we organized all this workflow with widgets. Why widgets? Because widgets can be stylized without affecting styles, main styles of widgets to main theme. So we put to content zone all our main widgets, like category widget, product page, shopping cart, checkout, and thank you page. And for every zone, we've added a simple rule. And if you wish to see it in the code, it's really simple. I've just taken some, sorry. I've just taken some parts from HTTP request from query string, and then I will send it via API client from our SDK to our server.
Hey, so I see that you've got HTTP context.current in your code. You probably want to avoid that and inject in iHTTP context accessor.
Yes, I know that was not a good idea, but it was a really quick decision and really simple. Yes, I know. It's
by the way, Nick, at the same time, can you create a documentation page to explain that? Because I think that's the main issue. There was no documentation about it, so let's do it like it works.
Yes, there is no documentation for this.
Yeah, that's fine.
But for future, I wish to realize this solution, to extend this solution, as
So I don't think widgets are a good way to do it, but I think you didn't have a choice because this is the only way to do it. Maybe not the good way. Maybe now we have the layouts. That would be very interesting to see how the layouts could be used. I'm thinking of, for instance, creating well-known content items.
Yeah.
And then with the layout part, so that users will drag and drop what they want to see in those well-known content items. Meaning, let's say you have the checkout page and you want to organize the layout for that. So you will create a checkout content item with the layout, and then people will drag and drop what they want to see on the checkout page. And what you just have to do with your controller on your well-known URL is to render the checkout content item. And this will or redefine the URL for this checkout content item to be the checkout URL. That would be better than just handling widgets, because with widgets, and you see the issue, you have to create a layer for each of the widgets you want to place, and that's not. That's not. So it would be better to have a content. But there before 1.9 you didn't have a choice, so you had to use widgets, and it's not obvious how to do that. So.
It was a really fast choice, just because I know it is not a good solution. And
it's the solution. It was the only solution you could take. So that's why I understand. And I blame Orchard for that. But since now we have layouts, and I think that's what Sipke is doing. He has the dashboard content item, and on the dashboard page, he's just rendering the content item named dashboard. And this way we can have customized dashboards. Well, we can customize the dashboard because it's just a content item with the layout part. So I think that would be the good way for you to change it, so that in your menu on the Orchard admin, you will see all the different sections as menu items. And when I click on the checkout section, you edit the checkout item, and people can drag and drop what they want to see on the checkout item. On the left, on the right, add some text above, below, whatever.
Okay.
That would be a way. That's not. It's just that now we can do that, and nobody has done that but Sipke so far with the dashboard. But I think that will be the way for us to move away from widgets when widget is not the solution. It just happened that widget was the only way to do things like this, even though it was not the good way to do it. So, just a recommendation. What is Virtuoso? Because you haven't explained us.
Can you repeat your question?
Oh, sorry, Virtuoso. Virto.Commerce. What is Virto.Commerce?
Virto.Commerce is just a...
it's a backend, then I see. I went to the website just to see. So I see it's a...
wait a minute. You mean this? Yes, Virto.Commerce, it's a platform. We prefer to call it manager part.
So all the stock, the prices, everything is managed in Virto.Commerce.
Yes.
And the Orchard module is just a front-end set of widgets and pages to plug to this management. So you don't manage products from Orchard, which makes sense. You just use Orchard as a web presence, a front-end presence, or to plug an e-commerce to an existing website. Okay.
So Orchard was chosen just for test drive for our SDK for integration with really wide spectrum of CMS, and you just was first.
Yeah, actually, because then after Orchard you can plug to any CMS, and I see your website is not done with Orchard, so we don't talk to you anymore. Okay, cool. Any questions from the e-commerce guys? George? Bertrand? No? Okay. So did you push your? I assume you pushed your module on the gallery.
Yes.
Let me check. I didn't see that. Virto. Oh yes, it is. Sorry, I didn't see. Okay, thank you. Any questions for Andrew? Do you have any site you're already using your module online? Not yet?
No.
That's fine. Okay, thank you. Nick, your turn.
Have I got time?
5 minutes or next week?
I'll try quickly now, I guess. Okay, so I just pasted the link into the window. Let me grab request control. Yep. Accept.
That's probably not what you want to do.
No, you don't want to do request control.
Oh yeah.
Andrew, you need to stop presenting so that Nick can present.
Oh.
Andrew? Click. No, on the right side, there is a stop presenting icon on the right side. Or maybe if you give control, Nick will stop presenting.
Just present on Andrew's
just for
machine.
fun. Yes, just for fun. Give control and. If you click no, you see on the right. Go on the right. Go on your right again. Still, right here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Look at that. Okay. All right. How do I present?
Okay.
Okay. Present desktop. Here we go. What's secondary? Okay. Here we go. Present. All right. Tell me when you guys can see my screen. Secondary monitor. Is that this one?
I can see your screen. Thanks, Nick.
Okay, and which screen can you see?
Well, we can see what you see.
Your
You are
link.
presenting secondary monitor.
Okay, right, so that's what it says. All right, cool. So I want to quickly talk about something about Brochard. So one of the things that I've been looking at, I pasted a link into the chat window, is about splitting the framework up into individual NuGet packages. So at the moment, this is pretty much what our framework looks like. I sketched this out a couple minutes ago, where we have Orchard.web as the client with Orchard.Framework, and then we have just a lot of stuff. And most of it kind of relies on everything. Everything kind of relies on everything else inside this Orchard framework. And then, I want to create something new, and I only want a small piece of this, then it kind of requires a lot of effort to kind of take that out, if that's even possible. So what I wanted to do was basically break all of that up on the Brochard project. So if I show you this. So again, I only sketched this down a couple of minutes ago, so there's a few notes. So you still have something called Orchard.web, but then things are broken down a little bit more. So Orchard.web is just the client that contains modules and whatnot. And then you have Orchard hosting web, and then which relies on HTTP. So that's got like stuff to do with MVC in it, and routing. And then you have Orchard.hosting, which contains building shells and things like that, where they're not reliant on HTTP. Which is good, because it means that if I wanted to build up another host, like a PowerShell host or whatever, then I can just rely on Orchard hosting and not rely on any of the HTTP framework. And there's still other packages, so I've broken everything up. Let me just show you. So if I close that down, so you can see here. What I've done is you still got the client. Ignore the frame, the name of the Orchard VNext. I just haven't changed it. So you've got the client, which is still Orchard.web or whatever it is. That has a dependency on Orchard hosting web, which has a dependency on Orchard hosting. But if I wanted to create another host, for example, then again, like I said a second ago, is I just need to depend on that. Now, if I had another project that was outside of Orchard, but I like the dependency injection in Orchard, then I could just depend on the dependency injection framework and just take that with me. The nice thing about this also is the way that people are rolling out the NuGet packages up to MyGet means that if I upgrade one of these and check it in, or update one of these and check it in, someone else can just go pull the update of a single package. So they can just pull the update of the dependency injection framework rather than pull the entire framework, which I think is kind of a nice thing to do. And at the moment, I've got something called data as well and content management. Neither of those two are tied to the framework anymore. So content management is completely separated from the framework. It's a feature rather than something that's baked in. Orchard.data is an abstraction where I have entity framework as the feature, which is quite nice because if I don't want any framework and I want something else, I can have something else, or I can have multiple ones of these features because of the way that it's set up. You can have multiple content stores, for example, which I probably haven't covered yet, but I'm not going to cover today. So yeah, I mean, I just wanted to gauge what people think about breaking up the framework into something a little bit more packagey.
The thing I like the most here is that you externalize the content management part.
Quite
because
cool, huh?
it's hard to say that Orchard is also an application framework, and at the same time, everything relies around content management. So, but people say, but I don't want content management in my system. I just want, I don't know, to create a portal and manage users and have logging, validation, whatever, but no content management. So here it's nice because if I,
localization, I haven't put that in yet, but I've got a null localizer in abstraction, so you kind of have it, but you don't have it, which is quite nice as well. Logging will probably go the way of having pretty much the way I think the MVC team did it, where you have an abstraction and then you have an implementation, kind of like the way I've done it here with Entity Framework. You'll have a log4net implementation, and that will be defined in your recipe. So the default Orchard recipe will have the concrete implementations.
At what point do you decide when you need an Orchard version of the localization instead of the MVC localization? Same thing for logging. Because the issue with a new MVC/ASP.NET is that the architect is the same guy as for Orchard. So lots of IDs are now baked in ASP.NET or MVC.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of things there's some stuff that I haven't brought in from the other project because every time I go to do something, I make sure that I'm not duplicating what other people have been doing on the ASP.NET team. So like localizable, is it localizable string or localized
string? Yeah, it's the same.
I don't have an implementation of that because that comes in from the VNext team, from the MVC team. So I don't need that anymore.
Logging, same thing. There is abstractions and implementation, so you can switch
well,
them.
To a point, but you still need to plug in the. There's two interfaces that you still need to create. So there is a few things around logging that we still need to plug in, just not as much as we previously have. And if anything, it allows us to change our implementation.
Okay, so we have a session for Alicante. Good.
Yeah. What does everyone else think? Zoltan?
Yeah, I've already said what I wanted in the GitHub issue, but this is what I was afraid of, that you will create that many projects, because now an average Orchard module will we'll have to add project references to all of these, not just one
No.
framework.
Absolutely not. Why do you need to add a reference to every single thing? If you add a reference to every single package, then your package or your module that you're implementing probably is doing too much.
What he means is like you need validation, logging, file system, data, core, content management, framework configuration. That's what you mean?
Yes.
But then you
plus
probably
all the plus the abstractions of these modules.
well, no, because you probably only need the abstractions, right? Because you would expect the concrete implementation to be injecting.
So you just need the abstractions, okay, but still, logging, validation, file system, data, core, content management, configuration, dependency injection. You need all of that.
No, you don't. Why?
No.
No, not necessarily. That all depends on what your module's doing, right?
Okay, let's implement a driver. You need.
I haven't got that far yet.
You need logging, validate, and I can repeat everything: logging, validation, core, content management, configuration, and data, and so.
No, because with logging, you probably only need to add a reference to the ASP.NET logging abstractions. So you don't need to add one to the Orchard's one.
I'm just trying to exaggerate just to see Zoltan's point.
No, really, what do we need to add references for here? If we are really writing a widget filter that actually uses content management, logging, maybe also file system. I don't know what validation does here. So do you need to add references to these specific projects when you want to use any of these services? So are the interfaces also there?
Well, it depends. Yeah, so in some instances, I've taken the interfaces and moved them to abstractions where I can kind of see. So I think abstractions has got exceptions and maybe some null things. Validation just has the argument and the JetBrains annotations. That will probably go, and maybe validation might go completely in favor of some of the MVC team stuff. Really, this is just early on, so I still haven't. There's still lots of things broken up. So
maybe that won't be an issue because when I look at the ASP.NET repository organization, there are so many projects, like 50, 100 projects. It's crazy, and they don't seem to have this issue right now. So I assume there won't be any issue also if Orchard follows the same.
I mean, this is pretty much how to add a reference. You just add it.
Yes, and Zoltan, adding a reference is just editing a JSON file. So meaning if you create a project from a template, the JSON file could be pre-populated with all the things that are usually needed.
Yeah, it's so much easier than you even think. And yeah, it's worth taking a look at first, I think. But yeah, decomposing the Orchard framework was a hard thing to do, and that just goes to show that everything does depend on everything, and I still haven't finished.
And can you give an example where this would actually help adoption of Orchard?
He said that the way you can then plug something else, like create your own validation, your own logging, and
people want to do their own thing. So,
but you need dependency injection for that. So you need dependency injection for that. But
you need dependency injection interfaces for that. The abstraction. If I want to plug AutoFac in, I just need to depend on Orchard.dependency injection. If I want an inject, I do exactly the same thing.
Okay, let's talk. Well, we can continue offline.
Yeah.
The only way to convince everyone will be to create a new module and to see how you do that and how easy or hard it is with the changes you made. Gustavo is mentioning he has 124 projects in the solution. I'm sure OneStop has even more.
One thing to bear in mind is if you just reference this project, you take all the references that this project has as well. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to say I don't want to reference all these projects and I still like the Orchard framework, you can kind of still reference that.
Theoretically, you can even create a Uber project which will contain references.
Exactly. If that's what you want to do, good on you to go and do that. And you can still do that.
We can do also. I'm sorry, digressing. We need a contest at the Harvest conference. How many projects do you have in your solution? So George is saying he has 170 projects. He's beating Gustavo. So no, yeah. Sorry. Thank you, Nick.
No, you're very welcome.
Good.
Great.
Just
one question for Nick. Do you think it would be a reasonable middle ground here to separate? I like that you separated out the hosting parts that don't have any dependency on HTTP, like the web server specific stuff separately. Do you think that would be worth doing without separating out all of the other stuff?
I missed the first part. I accidentally hit the hang up button by mistake. But what I think I'm hitting, basically not separating off like the dependency injection framework and that lot, but just the things like HTTP, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I originally thought about that, but the way that I looked at it was, in order to break up Orchard.Framework, I had to go all in and just take every single individual namespace out and put them into their individual projects. And because that was a lot harder than I thought, it actually was kind of nice. It ended up being quite a nice thing to do, with the dependency injection framework being just a very lightweight module, only having 1 or 2 or 3 things in it, even though it's a small thing. My worry is that by moving that stuff back into another single module, you would end up almost back to where we currently are.
For Brochard, I think this is definitely the way to go, and I think you should take it as far as you've done. I agree with you. I was thinking more like for Orchard current version, if that was something that we could do even like now.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no reason why we couldn't do it. The VNext framework is that there's no reason why those concepts can't apply backwards. I mean, yeah, totally. It'll be interesting to see how far we can get away from system.web in the framework.
Yeah, exactly. Just breaking out the HTTP stuff would be worthwhile in the current solution. I think would be a nice thing.
Absolutely. And the good thing about what I've done is I've managed to keep it core CLR compliant, which means if you do want to run it on OS X or Linux, it will work.
Cool stuff. Thanks.
No worries.
Good. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for the demos. See you on Thursday.
Yes.
And see you on Thursday. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.